Hi everyone, let's talk about week 15, and this week we're talking about mental health. Okay, so this week we learned about mental health in comics. I'm reading a script. I feel privileged enough to say I don't feel as if I'm impacted by anxiety or depression as much as some of my friends or family are. So reading the articles makes me more aware of what they're experiencing in their lives and definitely makes me more in touch with them. In the article Mental Health Awareness Through Comics, it talks about Jessica Cruz, and it says the biggest battle she faces every day is the one against her own mind. And I feel like that quote summarizes how debilitating having mental health issues can be. And this article also states that it is important that there is representation of superheroes dealing with psychological issues, especially after traumatic events, because one, it releases the stigma of mental illness, as the article said, but it also, two, it gives the audience members someone to look to when they're going through issues that are maybe not similar, but definitely experiencing the anxiety or depression or even postpartum, as it talked about in that article. The article that proposed the question, can comic books help to prevent depression and promote better mental health, is really interesting because especially when they're talking about the software Catch It. And I feel like we have a lot of sources to help treat depression once you have it, but Catch It is one of the few, if not the only one, I've heard of that works to prevent depression. On the next article, comic books have the power to fight mental illness. I was a little surprised to learn that the U.S. Congress burned comic books and had them regulated through the Comics Code Authority. And that definitely was censorship and definitely unconstitutional, but okay, moving on. I like how this article talks about how comics introduce audiences to new ways of thinking, which is what I kind of experienced through this class. And it's like, don't just look at the words on the page, also look at the expression and look at the colors, and you can experience a whole different story. From the article, Comic Books as a Bridge to Therapy, I was introduced to the term bibliotherapy, and the concept of it makes perfect sense. And I feel like when I was in elementary, middle school, or even early high school, when I was reading books about girls and just everyday lives of girls, stuff that happens, I definitely experienced bibliotherapy, because I would relate my life to the stories, reflect on my life, and apply how the character would react to situations and apply it to how I would react to situations in my life. So during this break, I'm working on my mental health by working out and spending time with my family. And I think that it's important for students to get a break, and if you're living at school, get away from school, because it's it could honestly be a toxic environment. For me, it's not that toxic, but I do get myself, I was going down a rough path at the end of this semester, so luckily I need a little brain reset for break. Working out is really important for mental health because it relieves stress and brings dopamine, and usually you'll always leave a workout feeling accomplished, and we love that feeling. It's very inspiring. I'm also trying to eat better, as I was not eating very well at school. I mean, I was trying, but it happens. And so obviously eating healthy brings good chemicals to your brain and keeps you in a good mental state. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. And yeah, see you in the final presentation.